DBSM చారిటబుల్ ట్రస్ట్ దేవరపల్లి వారి యొక్క ప్రథమ వర్ధంతి సందర్భంగా శ్రీ ఆచార్య L Visweswara గారిని వేదిక మీదకి వక్తలుగా ఆహ్వానిస్తున్నాం.
My dear friends and colleagues, it's a very, very good occasion to reflect on Mastan Rao's on his first death anniversary, his ideas, his ideology, his philosophy. We need to have occasions of this nature so that, great people who contributed to our society for emancipation, for liberation. And if you look at, Mastan Rao's work, Mastan Rao's writing, though he has been an engineer by profession, but he was a social activist. He took enormous interest in reflecting, various kinds of social concerns. And I think, when we talk about, his writings, many of them think in this country, when we talk about reservations for the scheduled caste, or the scheduled tribe, or the backward classes, many of them think this is unique to India. This reservation policy is only there in India. I have traveled across the world. In the rest of the world, it is called affirmative action. They go out of the way to get blacks, minorities, Hispanics. Many of them are marginalized communities who did not have opportunity for education, including the judiciary. If you look at the Supreme Court of the American judiciary today, you will find 2 blacks who are the Supreme Court judges. In India, we do not have such a representation yet. So Mastan Rao, through his writing all along, has been talking about. I think I'm one of those people wherever I go, it is not reservations we are talking about. We are talking about representation of our population. 52% of the population is the backward class population. We don't even find 25 or 23 MLAs. The Reddy population is a 6% population. They've got 80 MLAs sitting in the present assembly. Khamma population is a 3% population. They are having about another 50 to 60% representing. The backward class population is a 52% population. The scheduled caste population is 15% population. Scheduled tribe population is 7.5% population. The minority population is 15% population. If all of us put together, our population is about 80 to 85%. But then what is our representation? Mastan Rao, through his writing, he was talking about unity. He was talking about representation. He was talking about making the society a democratic society. Let us not think, because we are having elections every 5 years, that India is a democracy. It is not a democracy. Democracy is every chakali, every mangali, every marginalized community becomes, a chief minister, becomes an MP, gets into the parliament. 62 years of democracy, 50 to 55 years of Andhra Pradesh has been formed. Not a single backward class MLA has become the chief minister of Andhra Pradesh. And this kind of an attitude continues. We will not have a chief minister for another 20 years. Another 20 years. Damodaram Sanjivaya became chief minister. He was not even allowed to function for 15 months. He was not allowed to function. Someone who reads, history of Damodaram Sanjivaya. I would like to give you only some facts, and I will set an agenda. And I think I'm very, very happy that my friend, Bangya Nayak referred to one or two acts. Manual Scavengers Act, Construction Dry Act came into existence in 1993. Scavengers వెళ్ళిపోవాలి ఈ దేశంలో నుంచి 1993లో ఈ దేశంలో ఒక చట్టం వచ్చింది. ఇప్పుడు చూస్తే రాజస్థాన్ వెళ్ళినా, మధ్యప్రదేశ్ వెళ్ళినా, ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ వెళ్ళినా, గుజరాత్ వెళ్ళినా, ఏ రాష్ట్రానికి వెళ్ళినా, you will still find 100% of the scavengers only scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. What a tragedy in this country. What does democracy mean when someone has to carry shit on their head? What kind of a shame of a democracy is this country? Let me give another act. In 1995, the Commission for Bonded Labour appointed by the Supreme Court. He said bonded labour should go away in this country. Today, according to the Planning Commission data, there are about 250 bonded labour in this country. 250 bonded labour in this country. All the 100% of this bonded labour in this country belong to the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes and the backward classes. What kind of an equality we are talking about? What kind of an equity we are talking about? When 10% of the population rules in this country, two communities rule in this country. In Andhra Pradesh, Kammas and Reddys. If you go to Karnataka, it is Lingayas and Okaligas. If you go to Gujarat, it's again two communities leading this country. What does the 62 years of democracy mean for the people of this country? According to the Planning Commission data, 80% of the people in this country are not even earning 20 rupees a day. I'm quoting a Planning Commission data. Not even 20 rupees a day after 62 years of democracy. How can we live with 20 rupees a day? Where do you get your food? How do you clothe? How do you send your children to schools? That is where I think Mastan Rao in all his writings was talking about equality, social justice, equity. What are we saying? What was Mr. Mastan Rao was talking about? Implement what is there in the Constitution of India. Ambedkar has given one of the finest constitutions which India has got. No country in the world is having such a fine constitution. Talks about socialism, talks about equity, talks about social justice. Let me give you one or two more facts before I wind up. I think what we need to talk about today is unity of this 80% of the population. This 80% of the population come together. What a tragedy in the recent elections. Two communities fought together, and two communities, all of us have voted for them. And what are they doing? Are they trying to improve the welfare of the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes? Is there a voice of the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribes? When you look at the recent assembly which took place, only Chandrababu Naidu and Rajashekar Reddy were fighting, talking about how much property you have, how much property I have. That's all. Assembly is meant to be discussing poverty, rural development, tribal welfare, Dalit welfare, women's welfare of the people of this country. That is what the parliament and assemblies are meant for. They are setting all together a different kind of agenda, a corporate agenda. Ambanis are discussed, rich people are discussed, but the poor people in this country in assemblies and parliaments are not discussed. And I think it is important for us to have meetings of this nature to reflect the writings of Phule, writings of Mastan Rao, writings of B.R. Ambedkar, writings of Sahu Maharaj, who implemented reservations for the first time in this country. So, my dear friends, whenever we talk about, we should not talk about reservations, we should talk about representation. 52% of the backward classes, 52% of the economy should be spent on us. 52% of the resources should be given to us. 52% should be given to the backward classes. 15% to the scheduled caste. 7.5% to the scheduled tribe. That should be our agenda. The money is meant for us. The money is meant for the 80% of the advancement of the people. And I'm happy this meeting has been organized by the trust, and the trust should carry forward this agenda. All of us should get united. What does democracy mean? Democracy means emancipation. Democracy means empowerment. Democracy means power for you. The hundreds of people who are sitting here, they should be given power. Hundreds of people who are sitting here are capable of getting into Indian Parliament. Hundreds of people who are sitting here are capable of getting into assemblies. Hundreds of small communities should get into assembly and parliament. Then, democracy has got some sense and meaning. I thank all of you for giving me this opportunity to spread, certain ideals of Mastan Rao and ideals of the great scholars of this country like Ambedkar and many others. I hope we continue to carry forward the agenda which has been set for them. And I wish all of you all the best, hoping that we continue to carry this agenda. Thank you very much.
L Visweswara Rao, Usmania University, Communications and Journalism Department lo Professor ga Acharya L Visweswara గారి అద్భుతమైన ప్రసంగాన్ని బీసీల సమైక్యమనది ఏకమైతే జయం మనదనే నాదాన్ని ప్రొఫెసర్ పిఎల్ నరసింహారావు విశ్వేశ్వరరావు గారు ఇచ్చినటువంటి అమూల్య సందేశానికి టీవీసీఎం